Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Lenny Schultz, the whirlwind of zany comedy and explosive energy, left a lasting impression on American humor with his one-of-a-kind act that defied convention and lit up every room he entered. He passed away peacefully on March 17, 2025, at the age of 91, at his home in Delray Beach, Florida. Born in the Bronx in 1933, Schultz never set out to be a comedian. A gym teacher by trade, his first audience was a group of high school students who couldn't stop laughing at his antics. Their encouragement led him to take a chance on comedy in 1969 at an open mic in New York's Improv Club. What followed was a wild, unforgettable journey into show business that saw him perform on The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson, The Ed Sullivan Show, and Laugh-In. Lenny's act wasn't about punchlines. It was pure chaos in the best way. He juggled water, battled imaginary chickens, turned bananas into violins, and brought audiences to their feet with his physical comedy. His performances were so uncontainable that fellow comedians dreaded following him. Even David Letterman once said, "He is talked about more often, randomly, than any single person we spent time with at the Comedy Store in the 1970s. Despite his fame, Schultz remained grounded, continuing to teach Jim well into his comedy career. That double life, by day a teacher, by night a comic whirlwind, was a testament to his love for both laughter and community. Lenny's gift wasn't just in making people laugh. It was in making them feel free, silly, and young at heart. His legacy lives on in every comic who dares to be different and every audience still shouting, "Go crazy, Lenny." Ina Hartman, a pioneering presence in American television and film, quietly opened doors for future generations through a career marked by elegance, perseverance, and trailblazing resolve. She passed peacefully on April 16, 2025, at the age of 93, leaving behind a legacy defined by talent and courage. Born Gerthaline Henry to sharecroppers in Arkansas, Hartman's journey led her from humble beginnings to becoming the first black actor to receive a talent contract from NBC, a groundbreaking achievement in the early 1960s. That contract launched her into a career that brought her to both the big screen and the living rooms of America during a time of cultural transformation. Hartman is fondly remembered for her role as Katie Grant, a poised and capable police dispatcher on Dan August, opposite Burt Reynolds. Though the series lasted just one season, her presence was a rare and meaningful representation of black women in authority roles during the era. Her film work included appearances in Our Man Flint, Airport, and the cult classic Terminal Island, where she portrayed the fiercely independent Carmen Sims. Beyond her roles, Hartman came close to iconic parts. She was in the running for Star Trek's Lieutenant Uhura and even selected by Dorothy Dandridge to portray her in a proposed biopic. Though some dreams remained unrealized, she never ceased to inspire with her grace and integrity. Her passing closes a chapter on a life devoted not only to performance, but to progress. Ina Hartman's enduring contributions remind us of the quiet strength behind the scenes of history, a strength that helped reshape Hollywood's path forward. Peter Kwong, beloved by fans of classic action cinema, left an enduring mark through both his screen performances and tireless advocacy within the entertainment industry. Best remembered as Rain, one of the electrifying three storms in John Carpenter's cult favorite Big Trouble in Little China, Kwong passed away peacefully in his sleep on May 27, 2025, at the age of 73. Kwang's journey began in Sacramento, California, and his screen career took off in the 1970s with roles in TV staples like Wonder Woman, The A-Team, and Miami Vice. His breakout role came in 1986's Big Trouble in Little China, a film that, though underappreciated at release, went on to become a fan favorite for its daring blend of martial arts, fantasy, and humor. That same year, he also appeared in The Golden Child alongside Eddie Murphy. A skilled martial artist trained in Northern Shaolin Kung Fu, Kwang brought a unique physical artistry to his performances, often blending precision with cinematic flair. Yet his presence was equally strong off-screen. For over a decade, he served on the boards of SAG, AFTRA, and the Television Academy, and held leadership roles in the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. He was a vocal advocate for better Asian American representation in media, courageously speaking out against stereotyping and pushing for meaningful change. Kwang's legacy is one of passion, performance, and principle. Whether delivering lightning-fast moves on screen or working behind the scenes to lift others, he inspired both colleagues and fans. His long, devoted career and quiet dignity continue to resonate through the roles he played and the causes he championed. Francis Davis, one of America's most insightful voices in jazz criticism, spent a lifetime bringing music's cultural heartbeat to the page. Known for his sharp intellect, elegant prose, and deep love for the art form, Davis passed away at 78 in his Philadelphia home on April 14, 2025, after living with emphysema and complications from Parkinson's disease. Throughout his prolific career, Davis wrote for The Atlantic, The Village Voice, The Philadelphia Inquirer, and NPR, crafting essays that connected sound to society, rhythm to history. His writing reached beyond notes and melodies, capturing the spirit of artists like Miles Davis, Billie Holiday, and Frank Sinatra, while reflecting on the deeper significance of their work in America's cultural tapestry. His liner notes for Kind of Blue, 50th Anniversary Collector's Edition, earned him a Grammy Award, and his influence only deepened through his books and the renowned Jazz Critics Poll he founded. Raised in Philadelphia and forever shaped by its libraries, music halls, and radio airwaves, Davis was equally a critic and a storyteller. Whether writing about jazz legends or exploring the place of music in contemporary life, he always returned to one question: what does it mean to us? Despite the growing noise of a distracted culture, Davis's voice remained clear and poignant, never just evaluating music, but reflecting on why it matters. His partnership with Terry Gross, host of Fresh Air, was both personal and creative, rooted in shared curiosity and mutual respect. Francis Davis's legacy is not only in the volumes he penned, but in the way he made listeners and readers care, deeply, enduringly, about the sound and soul of jazz. His life's work continues to echo wherever the music plays. George Armitage, a daring voice in American cinema, left an unforgettable imprint through stories that blended sharp wit with pulsing energy. Best known for directing cult favorites like Miami Blues and Grosse Pointe Blank, Armitage passed away on February 15, 2025, in Playa del Rey, California, at the age of 83, leaving behind a legacy marked by innovation and a deep connection to the rhythm of storytelling. Born in Hartford, Connecticut in 1942, Armitage's path to film began humbly in the 20th Century Fox mailroom, but his creative instincts soon propelled him into television and feature film production. A pivotal encounter with legendary producer Roger Corman opened the door to a prolific early career filled with edgy, fast-paced projects that challenged norms and inspired future filmmakers. Armitage's 1990 film, Miami Blues, with Alec Baldwin and Jennifer Jason Leigh, showcased his knack for darkly comedic narratives. He followed it with Grosse Pointe Blank, a hit that became emblematic of 90s cinema, where John Cusack's charismatic assassin navigated a reunion with humor and heart. His directing style, improvisational, collaborative, and deeply character-focused, earned him admiration across the industry. Beyond the screen, Armitage's love for storytelling was philosophical. He often described film as a dream, an emotional coda, reflecting his belief in cinema's power to connect with the subconscious. Survived by his wife Sharon, son Brent, and grandchildren, Armitage's warmth and passion live on, not just in his films, but in the memories of those he inspired. His works remain a testament to a filmmaker who saw movies as both a craft and a kind of magic. William Finn, a bold and brilliant voice in American musical theater, touched the hearts of audiences with his uniquely personal and emotionally rich storytelling. Born in Massachusetts in 1952, Finn captured life's complexity through music, whether exploring identity, family, or love. With his landmark Broadway production Falsettos, a deeply human tale about a modern family facing life's unexpected turns, he earned 2 Tony Awards for Best Score and Best Book. Finn's work stood out not just for its musical ingenuity, but for its compassion. He brought humor and poignancy to themes rarely explored in song. His hits, like the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, proved his range, from deeply moving stories to playful, laugh-out-loud moments, all told with heart and an unmistakable lyrical wit. Life, however, was not without challenges. Finn faced a life-threatening brain condition that inspired A New Brain, a musical reflecting his experience with courage and honesty. In later years, he contended with neurological complications and pulmonary fibrosis, which marked the final chapter of his extraordinary life. Yet through it all, Finn never stopped creating. He mentored young writers, launched new works, and remained devoted to the transformative power of theater. His songs, quirky, honest, and full of soul, continue to resonate with generations of theater lovers. On April 7, 2025, at age 73, William Finn's journey came to a peaceful close in Vermont, surrounded by love and a lifetime of melodies. His enduring legacy lies not only in his acclaimed works, but in the spirit of empathy, joy, and truth that echoed through every note he wrote. Tommy Hunt, a cherished voice of the golden age of soul, brought heart and harmony to generations of music lovers. As a member of the legendary group The Flamingos, Hunt's velvet-smooth vocals helped craft one of the most timeless sounds in doo-wop and R&B history. Born in 1933, he rose to fame with hits like I Only Have Eyes for You, a track that continues to echo through time with its dreamy, celestial quality. Hunt's journey was not without obstacles. Growing up in challenging times, he faced the complexities of the music industry and life on the road. Yet through perseverance and an unwavering love for music, he carved out a career that spanned continents and decades. After his success in the United States, Hunt found a second home in the UK's northern soul scene, where his solo work flourished and his performances became legendary. Though health and age presented challenges in his later years, Hunt remained a beacon of warmth and generosity, beloved by fans and fellow musicians alike. He carried himself with grace, and even in his final days, his thoughts were with the music and the people he loved. On February 12, 2025, Tommy Hunt peacefully slipped away in his sleep at the age of 91. His family shared that he was not at his home, a regret he quietly held, but he remained surrounded by the love and admiration of countless fans. His final wish, expressed through Sammy Davis Jr.'s I've Gotta Be Me, was for his life's melody to never be forgotten. Tommy Hunt leaves behind a legacy of soul, sincerity, and song, a reminder of how music, when sung with heart, can touch the soul forever. James Lowe, the unforgettable voice behind the Electric Prunes, left an indelible mark on the American music scene. Best known for the psychedelic anthem "I Had Too Much to Dream," "Last Night," Lowe captivated audiences with his pioneering spirit and inventive sound. Born on March 5, 1943, in San Luis Obispo, California, he helped shape the 1960s garage rock movement with a fearless desire to explore the edges of music. His band's work became iconic, especially after being featured on the seminal Nuggets compilation, a cornerstone of psychedelic rock appreciation. Lowe's artistic journey was filled with both remarkable highs and quiet perseverance. After the initial success of the Electric Prunes, the group disbanded, and Lowe transitioned behind the scenes, working as an engineer and producer for talents like Sparks and Todd Rundgren. It wasn't until decades later that he returned to the stage, rediscovering the joy of performing and connecting with longtime fans and new admirers alike. Despite stepping away from the spotlight, Lowe's creative spark never dimmed. His life was a testament to staying true to one's vision and embracing the beauty of reinvention. He faced the evolving tides of the music industry with humility and grace, always choosing authenticity over commercial appeal. On May 22, 2025, James Lowe peacefully concluded his journey, surrounded by music and family. His family shared that he passed from natural causes, his spirit uplifted by the melodies he loved. James Lowe's legacy continues in every note of his unforgettable music and in the hearts of those who found meaning in his sound. He remains a beacon of artistic integrity and a reminder of music's power to transform, endure, and unite. LaTonya Patane, who bravely shared her journey with the world on season 11 of My $600 Life, passed away at the age of 40 in Shreveport, Louisiana. Her family shared that she had been experiencing serious heart issues, with her preliminary cause of passing noted as congestive heart failure. LaTonya's story was one of courage and determination. Despite facing lifelong challenges with weight and health, she opened up about the emotional wounds that shaped her relationship with food, losing her mother at a young age, and later coping with deep personal loss and trauma. On the show, she made a sincere effort to improve her health, working hard to reduce her weight despite setbacks and disappointment. Off-screen, LaTonya encountered even more challenges. After the show aired, she endured harsh public backlash, leading to a difficult period of depression that impacted her progress. Despite this, she continued to fight, seeking therapy and holding on to hope for medical treatment and a better quality of life. In her own words, she was determined to fight for her health and her life. Her final days were spent surrounded by family who reported that she had expressed discomfort just before being taken to the hospital. She had recently shared her desire to recover and keep moving forward, despite the many barriers in her path. LaTonya Patane's story touched countless viewers with its honesty and vulnerability. She reminded us of the importance of compassion, mental health awareness, and the strength it takes to face life's heaviest burdens. Her memory remains a powerful reminder that every person's journey deserves dignity, empathy, and support. Jill Sabuli, the fearless voice behind the 90s anthem "I Kissed a Girl," brought courage, humor, and heart to the music world. She passed away at 66, following a tragic house fire while staying with friends in Minnesota. Born in Denver, Jill was a trailblazer from the start. With her guitar in hand, she sang truthfully about love, identity, and life's contradictions, long before such themes were widely embraced. Her songs like Supermodel, featured in the beloved film Clueless, and her signature hit I Kissed a Girl, carved out a space for queer voices in pop music with wit and tenderness. Jill's journey wasn't without hardship. Dropped by multiple record labels, she never let rejection define her. Instead, she pioneered fan-based crowdfunding, raising nearly $90,000 to independently release her album California Years. an act of resilience that inspired countless independent artists. Her storytelling was honest and often laced with irony, but it was her empathy that made her music endure. From intimate NPR performances to heartfelt anthems, Jill connected deeply with her listeners. Fans across generations found pieces of themselves in her songs, especially those who had never before heard their stories told. Her final days were spent preparing to return to her hometown to perform from her autobiographical musical, Seventh Grade, a work that encapsulated her lifelong mission: to uplift, to challenge, and to be unapologetically herself. Jill Sobule is remembered not only for her bold lyrics and unforgettable melodies, but for the way she made people feel seen, understood, and brave. Her legacy lives on in every voice she helped empower and every heart she touched. Johnny Tillotson, a beloved voice of the 1960s and a cherished figure in American music, brought grace, charm, and sincerity to every note he sang. Known for his timeless hit, Poetry in Motion, Johnny touched millions with songs that echoed through jukeboxes, living rooms, and hearts across the nation. Born in Jacksonville, Florida, Johnny began his journey early, performing on local radio before earning a journalism degree at the University of Florida. But it was music that called to him most deeply. His big break came in the late 1950s, leading to a string of hits that showcased his heartfelt style and genuine warmth. With Poetry in Motion reaching #2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and later successes like It Keeps Right on a Hurtin', which earned him a Grammy nomination, Johnny carved a place all his own in the American songbook. That very song would go on to be recorded by legends like Elvis Presley and Dean Martin, testament to the strength of his craft and the resonance of his words. Johnny's life, though rich with fame, was grounded in love. His wife Nancy, whom he lovingly called his fairy tale, stood by his side for 45 years. In recent years, he faced the challenges of Parkinsonism with the same quiet dignity that marked his career. Days before his passing, he released Everything I Touch Turns to Blue, a final gift to his fans and a reminder of the artistry that never faded. For those who grew up with his music, and for generations who will discover it anew, Johnny Tillotson remains a gentle, golden voice of a sweeter time. Breaking news. Today, we explore the extraordinary journey of one of America's most beloved entertainers, a woman whose laughter once echoed in every household, but whose recent years have revealed a quieter, more complex strength. Ellen DeGeneres, the groundbreaking comedian, talk show host, and cultural trailblazer, has brought joy to millions. But behind the stage lights and spontaneous dances is a story of deep resilience, shifting public perception, and a late-in-life health revelation that surprised even her most loyal fans. How do you feel about Ellen's journey from adored icon to embattled public figure, and her efforts to reclaim authenticity in the spotlight? Share your thoughts in the comments below as we reflect on her incredible career, personal challenges, and her most vulnerable chapter yet. Ellen DeGeneres was born on January 26, 1958, in Metairie, Louisiana. Long before the world knew her name, Ellen was the witty child who used humor to navigate a difficult upbringing, especially after her parents divorced when she was just 13. That instinct, to find light in the shadows, would become the cornerstone of a career unlike any other. Ellen's path to stardom began with stand-up comedy in the 1980s. Her big break came in 1986 on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, where her performance was so impressive that Carson, known for his cautious praise, invited her to the couch, a moment that instantly marked her as a rising star. But it was her self-titled sitcom, Ellen, which aired from 1994 to 1998, that changed everything. In 1997, during the show's 4th season, Ellen made history by coming out as a lesbian, both in character and in real life. The puppy episode, where her character proclaimed, "I'm gay," became a cultural milestone. It was brave, it was revolutionary, and it was not without consequence. The backlash was swift and severe. Advertisers pulled out, critics turned away. The show was canceled the following year. And for a time, Ellen all but disappeared from the public eye. Hollywood had seemingly closed its doors. But rather than give in to bitterness, Ellen quietly rebuilt her life, retreating, reflecting, and waiting for the right moment to return. And return she did. In 2003, Ellen launched The Ellen DeGeneres Show, a daytime talk show that would go on to air for 19 seasons and win over 60 Daytime Emmy Awards. With her signature humor, playful pranks, and heartfelt interviews, Ellen reimagined what daytime television could be. She danced through the aisles, gave away cars, hosted the Academy Awards, and created viral moments that lifted the spirits of viewers around the globe. At her peak, she was not just a talk show host. She was a phenomenon, but no journey stays on a single track forever. In 2020, The Ellen DeGeneres Show was rocked by reports of a toxic workplace environment. Multiple former employees spoke out about experiences of mistreatment behind the scenes, prompting an internal investigation. Although Ellen was not directly accused of misconduct, the controversy significantly impacted her reputation and the show's image. Ellen responded with a public apology at the start of the following season, taking responsibility as the face of the program. Still, the momentum was not the same. Ratings dropped, viewers became divided, and in 2021, Ellen announced that her show would end in 2022, stating that she needed a new challenge. While the headlines focused on the fall from grace behind the scenes, Ellen was facing something much more personal: her health. In her 2024 stand-up special Ellen's Last Stand, up on Netflix, Ellen revealed that she had recently been diagnosed with osteoporosis, obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. It was a candid, surprising admission from someone who had spent decades making others laugh while keeping her own struggles out of view. Osteoporosis, a condition marked by decreased bone density, had caught her off guard. A nagging pain in her back and hips led to tests that revealed the diagnosis. "I thought I just needed to stretch," she joked during the special, "but my skeleton had other plans." Her revelation about living with OCD and ADHD was even more personal. She described an internal battle with perfectionism, her need for order, for things to be just right. She also spoke of her lifelong difficulty focusing, staying present, and managing competing thoughts. For years, she assumed it was simply part of her quirky personality. Only after therapy, spurred by the stress of the public backlash, did she come to understand that there was more beneath the surface. Ellen's decision to speak publicly about these diagnoses was not just a personal catharsis. It was an invitation for others to look inward and acknowledge their own hidden battles. It was a continuation of the openness she had once shown in 1997, when she stood at the intersection of identity and public scrutiny and chose to tell the truth anyway. Despite the challenges, Ellen has not withdrawn entirely from the world she helped reshape. She has found comfort in her marriage to actress Portia de Rossi, their shared love for animals, and her quiet creative pursuits away from the spotlight. She paints, gardens, and enjoys the peace of a life lived at a slower pace. Still, Ellen is not done telling her story. In her Netflix special, she addresses the controversy surrounding her show with unexpected honesty. "I used to be the most loved person in America," she says, pausing. "And then, not so much." She reflects on the pain of losing public affection and the lessons learned from it. Not everyone agrees with her interpretation of events, and some feel she still has more accountability to take. But for Ellen, the act of speaking at all, imperfectly, vulnerably, is part of the healing. Unlike some in Hollywood, Ellen has never tried to portray herself as flawless. Her comedy, at its best, is rooted in self-deprecation, absurdity, and a clear-eyed view of human nature. And now, in this next chapter, she is applying that same lens to herself. Her health journey, both physical and mental, is a reminder that even those who seem to have everything can quietly carry burdens. Her career, rising, falling, rising again, speaks to a strength that goes beyond applause or ratings. It is the strength to evolve, to admit mistakes, and to choose authenticity over performance. Ellen DeGeneres has left a permanent imprint on American culture. She made daytime television smarter, kinder, and more inclusive. She helped millions feel seen. She danced through adversity and told the truth when it was difficult. And now, as she steps back from the spotlight, she is showing us that reinvention is not just possible, it is necessary. Her story is not a fairy tale. It is not neat, it is not easy, but it is real. And in that reality, there is inspiration. So, what do you think of Ellen's journey? From fearless trailblazer to talk show titan, from public controversy to personal clarity? Has she earned redemption, or is her story still unfolding? Share your reflections in the comments and let us know how Ellen's legacy has impacted you. If her journey moved you, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more heartfelt explorations into the lives of those who shaped modern entertainment. Thank you for joining us in honoring a woman whose laughter once lit up the world and whose resilience continues to shine in quieter, deeper ways. Kadia by K.D. Lewis, known to many for her role on Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, left a lasting impression far beyond reality television. She passed away on May 30th, 2025, at the age of 44, leaving behind a life rich in determination, creativity, and compassion. Born on March 31st, 1981, Lewis stepped into the public eye during Season 3 of the VH1 series, where audiences first met her during her relationship with rapper Young Jock. By Season 4, she had earned her place as a recurring cast member, showing viewers her strength, vulnerability, and business acumen. But Kadia's story extended well beyond the screen. She was a proud entrepreneur, consultant, speaker, and accountant. On social media, she described herself as a brand ambassador and businesswoman, and she lived up to every word. Owning multiple companies, including a real estate investment firm and financial consulting business, she carved a path as a self-made woman who believed deeply in ownership, education, and empowerment. Her family, especially her brothers Jay and Elijah, spoke with deep emotion about the love she gave so freely and the support she offered without hesitation. She was, in their words, a legacy most individuals can only dream of. Kadia faced life's challenges with grace and boldness. Her ambition was matched only by her heart, a heart that lifted up others and left a mark on every person she touched. As we reflect on her life, we honor not just the television personality, but the builder, the mentor, the sister, and the dreamer who turned vision into reality. Kadia Lewis's legacy is not just what she achieved, but how she inspired others to believe they could too. Today we remember Jason Constantine, a visionary whose love for storytelling helped shape the very heart of modern cinema. Born and raised in California, Jason's journey into the film world began with a deep passion for stories that moved people. After earning his degree from Princeton and an MFA in film production from Loyola Marymount, he devoted more than 25 years to bringing unforgettable films to life. As co-president of Lionsgate's Motion Picture Group, Jason was a guiding force behind some of the studio's most beloved franchises, including Saw, John Wick, The Expendables, and Knives Out. But Jason's success did not come without challenges. He faced the competitive, high-stakes world of Hollywood with unwavering belief in bold ideas and new voices. He was known for taking risks on films that others passed over, stories that later became cultural touchstones. Even as he quietly navigated a long battle with cancer, Jason remained a vibrant presence in the industry, encouraging others and staying deeply connected to the work he loved. Beyond the studio lot, Jason was a man of warmth and wonder. Each holiday season, he built a miniature train village in his front yard, not just for his family, but for the joy of neighbors and strangers alike. His generosity, humor, and encyclopedic knowledge of film were hallmarks of a life filled with passion and purpose. Jason Constantine's legacy lives on in every frame of film he championed and every story he helped bring to the screen. His life reminds us of the beauty in believing, in people, in stories, and in the quiet strength it takes to carry both forward. Latest news: Joy Behar, a lifelong fighter for laughter, truth, and resilience. What keeps her going strong at over 80? Joy Behar is no stranger to life's unexpected plot twists. She has faced near-death experiences, career upheaval, public criticism, and the challenges of aging in front of millions. And yet, through it all, she remains one of the boldest, funniest, and most enduring voices on American television. But what does it take to build a career after 40, survive medical emergencies, and speak your truth for decades in an increasingly divided world? As we dive into Joy Behar's remarkable story, ask yourself, what would you do if your second chance at life came later than expected? Would you stay silent, or would you, like Joy, find the courage to speak louder? Born Josephine Victoria Behar on October 7, 1942 in Brooklyn, New York, Joy grew up in a working-class Italian-American family. Her early life followed a modest path. She earned a master's degree in English and began working as a teacher. For years, she lived what many would call an ordinary life: marriage, motherhood, and a secure job in education. But then, just before turning 40, everything changed. Joy lost her job and went through a painful divorce. Suddenly, she was a single mother with no clear future. Most would have retreated, but Joy Behar did the opposite. She reinvented herself. She stepped onto a comedy stage in New York City and discovered that her voice, sharp with wit and brimming with insight, could cut through silence like few others. In the male-dominated world of stand-up comedy, Joy brought something new: the wisdom of life experience, wrapped in biting humor. How many of us would dare to start over in our late 30s? What fears would we have to silence to take that kind of risk? Joy's rise was steady and hard-earned. By the 1990s, her comedy gained traction, leading to roles on television and guest appearances on talk shows. But it was in 1997 that her career changed forever, when Barbara Walters invited her to be one of the original panelists on a groundbreaking new daytime talk show called The View. From the start, Joy brought a unique energy to the show, a perfect mix of irreverence, intellect, and unfiltered honesty. She challenged guests, clashed with co-hosts, and never backed down from difficult conversations. Her humor was her sword, but her courage to speak uncomfortable truths was her shield. But what really kept viewers watching was Joy's authenticity. Whether sparring with politicians or cracking jokes about her own aging process, she never pretended to be anyone but herself. Do you think television today leaves enough room for real, unapologetic voices like Joy's? Of course, like many outspoken women in media, Joy has not had an easy ride. In 2013, after 16 years on The View, she was let go. It could have been the end of an era. Instead, Joy saw it as an opportunity. She worked on other shows, focused on writing, and stayed connected with her audience. Then, in 2015, in a move that surprised no one who had missed her fire, she was invited back to The View and has remained a leading voice ever since. Her career resurgence was not just about ratings, it was about relevance. At an age when many women are pushed aside, Joy returned stronger, sharper, and more fearless than ever. But the challenges she faced were not only professional, they were deeply personal, and at times, life-threatening. In a powerful segment on The View, Joy revealed that she nearly lost her life in 1979 due to an ectopic pregnancy. The condition caused internal bleeding that sent her to the emergency room in critical condition. She was rushed into surgery, and only then did doctors realize how close she was to a catastrophic outcome. Later, she would reflect on that experience as a defining moment in her understanding of women's health and the importance of access to emergency care. It was not just a private trauma, it became a public message. Women's bodies deserve to be heard, believed, and protected. Have you or someone you love faced a moment when everything changed in an instant? What strength did it take to move forward? Years later, Joy faced another health scare that brought her to the emergency room once again. Though she did not reveal details publicly, she shared on air that she believed she was at the brink. "I thought I was dying," she confessed. The experience reminded her, once again, of the fragility of life. Still, Joy kept going. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic, she made difficult choices for her health. As someone over 75 at the time, she temporarily stepped away from the studio to avoid risk, participating in remote episodes from home. Her decision was one of caution and wisdom, but it never dulled her presence. Her voice, even through a screen, remained as commanding as ever. In her 80s, Joy continues to surprise audiences, not by being loud or controversial, but by being relevant. She admits that this stage of life is one of her favorites. Free from needing to please, she speaks with the kind of clarity only time can bring. Her podcast appearances and television segments often highlight her belief in laughter as a form of survival and truth as a form of healing. She once shared, "I like this chapter of my life. I know who I am. I know what matters." How many people can say that with certainty, no matter their age? Joy Behar's journey is not just about career reinvention or surviving medical scares. It is about choosing to stay present when the world changes around you. She has watched generations come and go on The View, seen public sentiment rise and fall, and still, she sits at that table every morning, ready to challenge the status quo. Her presence reminds us that age is not a limitation, that mistakes and firings are not endings, that illness does not mean silence. Her humor, sometimes biting, often brilliant, is not just entertainment, it is resistance, it is empowerment. So, what keeps Joy going? Perhaps it is her passion for the truth, or her need to make people laugh, or maybe it is simply her refusal to be erased. Her legacy is still unfolding, but one thing is clear: Joy Behar did not build her life on applause or approval. She built it on grit, intellect, and courage. And for those of us watching, she leaves a powerful message behind. Do not wait for life to hand you a script, write your own. What inspires you most about Joy's journey? Is it her courage to start over, her survival through medical crises, or her fearless presence in a world that often demands women shrink as they age? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let us celebrate a woman whose name may be Joy, but whose story is built on so much more: truth, resilience, and the power to never, ever sit down quietly.